things to counter that. The boot, the pull, like, or what do you call it, a naked or a pull or whatever, with Copeland around the end. Of course, he scored 2 touchdowns on that play, and that really loosened it up inside some. I don't know if y'all changed blocking schemes, but those stuff plays that maybe went for no gain or 2 or 3 yards had a couple of long chunk plays, close to 20-yard runs for Harris in the second half.
Yeah, and that's something with Copeland we tell him all the time. He has to help the offensive line out, with pulling the ball, keeping the defense honest. And those 2 times he pulled it, it was wide open.
So that's a read play? Is that a read or is it a predetermined?
No, it's a read. It's a read.
Okay.
That's why we tell him all the time he has to help the offensive line out and keep that outside backer or that overhanging out there honest, and don't let them get in on the run game.
Okay, well, we gave you guys credit for it. We'll have to give Copeland the credit for it. So anyway, I'm just playing. But no, I thought that was an adjustment. Really, but he did that. So let me ask you this: on the 3rd down and 6, when we were trying to run clock in the 4th quarter, now we ended up punting on that drive, I think, but. He pulled it and picked up. We needed 6. I think he picked up 7 or 8. That was a read also on that play.
Yes, that's all in that's built into the offense.
Okay, so it's just the inside zone.
It's on him.
Okay,
it's on him. He got to take that responsibility. We put that all on him. He's a senior. He's mature, so we put it all on him to read, to pull it, to give it. Well,
it
so
certainly was wide open for 3 times for 3 big plays. Once for a big first down and 2 for touchdowns, and couldn't ask for anything better the way it went. Now, we had some turnovers in that game. They had some turnovers, but it kind of washed itself out. To me, the biggest turnover of the game was the interception by Floyd when they were deep, looking like they were going to score early, and he returned it out to midfield.
Yeah, that was the first drive of the game when they was driving down on us, and that was big for our defense to come up with that stop right there. And that kind of changed the momentum of the game right there to get them out of our territory. So I thought that was really big, and they got the defense going for the entire night.
That's right. Of course, we're going to continue to talk about the first week game. It was a great win over Stanhope Elmore. I know you didn't make the schedule this year, Jarrell, but you could have, if you were making it for your first official game, you wouldn't have picked a 6A opponent coming here, one as competitive as Stanhope. But hey, that was a great way to get started. Tough opponent, satisfying win.
Good competition to get it started.
That's right. So, but we'll kind of continue to talk about that, and also. We talked about the Tigers moving into the top 10 this week, but also I saw a stat someone shared on Facebook that in the history of Alabama high school football, Eufaula is tied for the 5th most winning seasons in history. Did you? I
didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah,
no, I didn't know
Eufaula with 80 winning seasons in the history of the program, tied with Enterprise. But I can't remember who. I think I've got it here somewhere. But right here, Fayette County has 85. Winning seasons overall. Bessemer City 82, Demopolis 82, Aniana 82, and then Eufaula Enterprise at 80. So 5th out of what is it? How many was there? 3?
7 classifications.
Yeah, so there's I'd have to do the math real quick. There's over 400 schools playing football in the state of Alabama, so that's pretty impressive.
So I guess there's no pressure on me to keep the winning tradition going.
No, hey man, one team, one town, one tradition, right? So anyway, with that, we'll step aside for a commercial break, and we'll be coming back talking a little bit more about the Stanhope Elmore game. But you're listening to the Eufaula Tiger Chick-Fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show right here on the Eufaula Tiger football broadcast. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? Is it a cool lake breeze on a hot summer day or by a warm fire on a cold night? Make every room in the house as inviting as the next. Also, make the air fresh and clean for everyone and keep humidity where it belongs. At Carrier, comfort means more than just the temperature. Contact Brown Heating and Air Condition, 714 South Eufaula Avenue, 334-687-5244.
In sports, the goal is to be the best. The same is true for Alpha Insurance. We work to make every quote, claim, or call a highlight. That's why customers consistently give Alpha high marks for service. Call Alpha and let us help you save on home, car, and life insurance. In Eufaula, call Alpha agents Keith or Brooke Bryan at 334-687-8268. or stop by our office at 1326A South Eufaula Avenue.
APEC Metal Express, offering quality service and guaranteeing to have the right parts and supplies. When you consider buying a roof or pole barn at other places, you make your decision based on a tiny sample. The warehouse at APEC Metal Express has an actual pole barn set up to give you a better idea of what yours will look like. This level of service is one of the things that sets them apart. APEC Metal Express, residential roofing, siding, trim, and in-stock pole barn kits with 16 colors in stock. 985 Technology Drive in Dothan, or call 699-5972.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them, unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
Call State Farm agent Sam Wise in Eufaula today.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-Fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-Fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
You should be there. And we're back on the Chick-fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show. I've got still got Coach Jarrell Jernigan with me. Still talking about the win over Stanhope Elmore. Coach, like I said, with 4 minutes to go in the first half, we were a little concerned up in the booth, to say the least. And but you know, Jan Zapier, I don't think that I've ever seen as many deflections in a game as we saw Friday night. I mean, as far as me personally, I'm sure there's been other times, but do y'all chart that? I mean, do you know how many deflections he had?
Yeah, he had 4, and that's crazy because me and Coach Brown and Coach Rivers, defensive coordinator, was talking about that. He had 4 in one game. Some people don't even have 4 in the whole season, and so that just explained, I mean, his athletic ability, his long, his length, you know, and getting back there to the quarterback and disrupting the pass.
Well, he was very disruptive. I mean, even when to me, it seemed like more than 4. I mean, because it seemed like he was back there all the time, and none was any bigger than that one late in the first half when we were trailing 7-0. But it really felt like it felt like a bigger deficit than 7-0, to be honest, from where we were sitting. And he, you know, they'd come off their goal line, driven out past the 20, but he deflected a flare pass. They ended up being a lateral. They lost yardage, which they ended up punting from the end zone. And the safety really, to me, was a turning point in the ball game, because it went from 7-0 to 7-2 to 10-7, and then they fumble on their first play after our touchdown, and we punch it in 2 plays, and it goes from 7-0 to 16-7 within 3 offensive plays for us.
Yes, well, like you said, that deflection by Yanze was big, because next play we got that safety in the end zone, and that kind of like sparked us offensive-wise, and, you know, defense, they rally around him. He's their leader on defense. When he's going, that makes things a lot easier for everybody else. So he's very important to that defense, and he showed it Friday night why he's a 5-star. He's not a 5-star yet, but he should be.
Yeah, I agree completely. And because, you know, the quarterback for Stanhope, I was impressed. He had a good arm, but he had so much pressure, he was inaccurate. If he had connected on half of the incompletions, a lot of incompletions I felt were because of the pressure. It could have been a different. They had some chunk plays that they could have hit had he been a little more accurate. And I thought the pressure was what disrupted him so much.
Yeah, D-line had a tremendously game. Not even not just Yanze. Xavier Adams had probably the best game of his career.
Right.
You know, he had I think a couple sacks and a couple pressures back there. And Xavier Dennis played well too. So I mean, not just Yanze, but the whole entire defensive line play. I mean, they played their butts off, and that's thanks to Coach Brown, the work he do at practice with him. I got him here with me today to talk to you guys as well.
Right. Yeah, the two X-Men. We call their names quite a bit as well. So they both had good games, and of course Xavier Dennis is just a sophomore. So I guess both of those guys. Well,
No, Xavier Adams
Xavier's
senior.
So senior and a sophomore, but yeah, already out there contributing. And speaking of sophomore for Xavier Dennis, a lot of sophomores, a lot of young guys that are really contributing on this team so far this year.
And that's a good thing about this team. I mean, we got a lot of young guys that's getting playing time early, and so this year and towards the end of this year, playoff run, they'll be experienced, and especially for next year. So that's the good thing about this team. We got a lot of young, good talent, and they're getting a lot of exposure right now on the big stage on Friday nights.
That's right. And speaking of that, we saw, Red Harris got the bulk of the carries. He had 15 carries Friday night. He was the leading rusher with 76 yards rushing. Copeland Cott was the second, but other than that, you really didn't have, we saw Jave, but he looked good on the one run, but he got the stinger and didn't get to play. But as far as injuries are concerned, how do we come out of this week with injuries? We saw the stinger, but I understand he played in a JV game earlier this week, so I'm assuming he's fine.
Yes. I mean, we find injury-wise, we had an injury last week in practice, and just found out today Malik Comer, one of my backup cornerbacks, he's out for the season with a torn ACL. So besides him, everybody else healthy and ready to go. So we wish him well and a good recovery.
Okay. Well, good deal. So it's kind of going over some of the leading stats. Of course, Copeland Cotton passed for 182 yards, 49-yard touchdown pass to Aurelius Slaughter. That was a thing of beauty, and Copeland avoided the pressure, and Slaughter got it. He was wide open, and that's sometimes the hardest ones to catch.
Yeah, it is. Copeland did a great job. He slid to his right slid to the left where the pressure was coming from his right, so he slid to the left, and all the coaches down there yelling, throw it, he's open, so he finally got it off, and he threw a beautiful ball to Aurelius down there for a touchdown. So Copeland did a great job right down that play.
So now, was Aurelius the primary receiver on that play? Was that designed to go deep?
Yes, I won't call him the primary receiver because we lead, like I said, once again, we lead everything up to Copeland. I mean, that's basically Coach Lowry do a great job with him, teaching him to read coverages, and concepts. That's something different this year that Coach Cornegay and myself and Coach Lamb brought into this offense.
Okay.
Instead of just pinpoint one receiver, we teach you to read coverages, and concepts of the route and stuff like that. So, Aurelius wasn't the primary receiver, but he came open and he hit the right receiver.
Okay, that's great. So he read it. Obviously went through his progressions, and he was the right one to throw to, obviously, because he was open, and it was a big momentum-changing play in the football game. Safety and then quick sudden change, went deep, and the two-point conversion on the swinging gate, that's something that's kind of a throwback from when you played.
Yeah, that's something we've been working on all summer, and during the preseason, that's something that we didn't want to show in the Jamboree, so we pulled it out the first game. So I was pleased with that. I was really pleased with that. So
those were 2 big points.
It was.
So speaking of 2 big points, we led 16-7 at halftime. Stanhope came out. They're a good team. They're a 6A opponent. They came out and they took advantage of turnovers. They scored their first touchdown on a turnover. They scored their second touchdown after a turnover. But when we looked like we were going to take control of the football game, we're up 16-7 and driving. They force another turnover, and this time they take it 80 yards or so for the touchdown to pull within 2 in the third quarter. So we played over a quarter with a 2-point lead. Now, during that period of time, you had your first big coach's decision. I remember someone telling you recently when you go for it on fourth down, half the people are going to like it, half the people are not going to like it. But that was a big call. But let's talk about that real quick. On our end of the field, I know it was important to try to keep the ball, but let's talk about the thought process on that a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was talking to Cornegay over the headset, and we was talking about it. And I just told him, I said, Coach, you got 2 plays right here, and he said, okay. And, I don't think that didn't work out in our favor right there with Nick. Actually, he hit the hole too wide on that one right there. If he'd have stayed tight, we would have had it when we went back and watched film. But, that's one of those plays. He hit it tight, it's first down. He went out wide with it. So,
but you know what? It's football. You got 11 guys out there on each side, and everybody. It was close. It was what I think we were within a foot of making it.
Yeah.
So it was so close. But anyway, after that, I thought the defense did a great job of responding. They picked up 1 first down. I think they got the ball at our 43-yard line, 44-yard line. They only made it to 28, and we stopped them on downs.
Yeah, our defense played tremendously all night. I mean, so you got to take your hats off those guys. And Tony Coleman, you know, I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but number 4 for Stan Hubbard is committed to Troy University. I mean, that's a great player. And he followed him around all night with it. You know, we bracketed him with a safety over top because that was the most – I was scared of him. Right. That was my fear of him on offense, and he held him in check all night, so you got to take your hats off to him.
I really don't remember him being a big factor in the game. Y'all really kind of neutralized him, to be perfectly honest,
Yes.
from my vantage point. I didn't look at his individual stats. And unfortunately, on my stat sheet, the 4th down conversions didn't print, but if I'm remembering right, they were like 3 of 7 or something like that. I mean, they were well below 50%, and seemed like the whole last 15 minutes or so of the game they went for it on 4th down. They never punted, and we kept stopping them time after time. And like I said, stopped them in Tiger territory 2 or 3 occasions, and then late we held them at midfield and took it and punched another touchdown in there late. I almost was concerned about us scoring too soon when we scored.
No, I was just worried about scoring.
Yeah.
I was just worried about scoring. My defense was playing. They was playing their butts off at that time. So I was just worried about scoring. I wish we could have had that extra point back, though. And so that was like crunch time right there when we got that extra point block. And they still had time to drive down, but my defense stood up to the challenge.
Well, speaking of that, of course, extra points are so important. It just seemed like they got through and blocked it. There's so many different things that have to happen right in the kicking game. You've got to have a good snap. You've got to block it. You got to hold it, and then you got to kick it. So, I mean, I'm sure that's something y'all continue to work on.
Yes, that's something we work on. And when I was on them hard, extra point team this week at practice, and it's got a lot to do with it's my wing and it's my kicker also. He's waiting until he pull it on the tee, then go, and then my wing's not stepping down. You know, so we got on both of them. I think it was Antron and Cooper. So we got on both of them this week. So hopefully they clean that up. But I know they will.
That's right. Because it is. You mentioned it. The 2-point conversion was huge. I mean, because without that 2-point conversion, they're not taking those chances on 4th down.
Yeah.
They may not get that last touchdown. It's a totally different situation. It goes down to the very end, probably like they normally do with Stanhope. So, all right. Well, anyway, that is the Stanhope Elmore games in the books. Like I said, congratulations on that. We're going to talk to Coach Brown a little later, continuing to talk about that. But right now, we want to turn our attention to this week's opponent. It's a 2-0 Headland team, but before we do so, we want to step aside for another commercial break. Listen to the Chick-Fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show right here on the Eufaula Tiger Football Broadcast. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Tiger fans. Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Hey Tiger fans, this is Lauren Streeter with Wiregrass Realty, and I'm here to tackle all your real estate needs. Let's team up and make a touchdown on your new home. Give me a call today, 334-614-7409. Go Tigers!
The family at Impressive Collision Center has been in business since 1940.
That's impressive.
Your transportation is one of the largest investments you have, so keep it looking new at Impressive. From a major crash to a small dent, Impressive can help.
Now impressive.
They work closely with all insurance companies and give you a great price on your minor mishaps.
Wow, impressive.
And don't forget to check out all the accessories from install winches, brush guards, and bed covers.
Impressive. Give them a call. Impressive Collision Center, 317 South Eufaula Avenue, 334-687-4400.
With the world changing all around us, everyone needs to be covered by insurance. So give Eric Glover with the Glover Agency a call and talk with Eric about auto, home, life, or last week's football game. Whatever your insurance needs, let Eric talk to you about being covered. The Glover Agency is located at 145 East Broad Street, Eufaula, Alabama. Call 334-687-0358.
When it's football time, we at First Franklin Financial are big fans of our local teams, just like you. We've been part of the community for over 75 years, and when you need money for repairs or emergencies, we'll help you play offense. We offer fixed-rate loans up to $15,000 with easy payment plans and fast approvals. Visit 1ffc.com to find the location near you. Legal, all loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and may require collateral. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 5656.
Hey Tiger fans, this is Lauren Streeter with Wiregrass Realty, and I'm here to tackle all your real estate needs. Let's team up and make a touchdown on your new home. Give me a call today, 334-614-7409. Go Tigers!
Hey Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-Fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show, and I'm joined now by Coach Robert Brown, the defensive line coach for the Tigers, and the third of the three former players who are currently coaching here on the staff for Eufaula High School. Welcome, Coach Brown, and we're glad to have you.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So you played D-line, so you're the D-line coach. So we already talked about it a little bit with Coach Jernigan, but defensive line did an outstanding job Friday night. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
So I know you got the luxury of coaching Yanze. You don't get that kind of talent very often.
Oh no.
But he had a great game. But besides him, some other guys did. So let's talk about your keys for the defensive line going into a game. Obviously, disrupting the pass is so important because it helps the defensive backs out, and that was maybe more important this last game than most games that I see because they had a big weapon on the outside with the Troy commitment, receiver, and the quarterback had a pretty good arm as well.
Oh yeah. First and foremost, those guys will tell you each and every day at practice, my main thing is stop the run. In order to get to third and long and rush the passer, you got to stop the run. So, we go through practice, we hit that sled 20, 30 minutes every day, work on run fits, getting off blocks. So most important things to D linemen, and they'll tell you where I stress the most is stopping the run.
Right. So, and we did a pretty good job against the run. They actually, they got over 100 yards, which I know that's something you're not happy with. You shut it down completely, but they had looked like they had a pretty good sized offensive line from where we were.
They did, and we're undersized with them. Not just only being a 6A team, but Eufaula, just never extremely big throughout the history of the school. Always use our speed, but we was in our 3-man front. They popped a couple runs on us to boost that run average up, but when we went to the 4-man front, we pretty much stifled the run for the rest of the game.
That's right. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You said from the 3-man to the 4-man. The base, what is the base defense?
Our base defense is actually a 3-4, but we're a multiple defense, so we actually do run a 4-man front, and sometimes even a 5-man front. We get in bare in certain situations, but like I said, we are a little light up front, not the traditional, probably 5A defensive line, but our guys are attacking, and they use their speed and good with their hands, which can negate, not having as much size.
Right. And let's talk a little bit about Yanze. I mean, I know last year we moved him around a fair bit. He didn't stay in one place. We've seen that a little bit. I know we saw that a little bit against Russell County, the Jamboree. Is that something we'll continue to see as the season rolls on?
Main thing is he's going to be 5 technique, 7, all the defensive end techniques. That's the main thing he's going to be doing this year. Not quite as much as off-the-ball linebacker this year. We want him just pinning his ears back, being that disruptive player, and bringing all that ability he can every down instead of maybe dropping in coverage or, something else.
We saw a lot of double teams against Yanze last year, and he still was very effective even at the 6A level. from the casual observer, of course, me calling play-by-play, I'm following the ball, so it's hard to watch an individual player. But it doesn't seem like he's seen as many double teams, or is that just a misperception on my part?
You're correct. You're absolutely correct. So last year in our defense, the base front, we were in a 3-4, still 3-4, but now we're in 2-5 techniques and a 0. Last year we had a 0 technique and 2 4s, so which he was head up a tackle. So he was more susceptible to being double teamed.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he was, but even with that, he made a lot of plays last year, as evidenced by the offer from Alabama and the commitment to the University of Alabama.
Yeah, he's so quick, man. He can just shoot in the backfield. He's got one of the best first steps I've ever seen.
Right. He's got a big frame and long arms. It just seems like he's got a long wingspan. Is that a measurable that y'all measure?
We hadn't actually measured it, but I remember going to Auburn, and I don't want to lie and say the exact number, but they said his wingspan was, like first round NFL wingspan, with how long he was.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know he's listed at 6'4". He's 6'4".
About in that range, yeah, 6'3.5", 6'4".
Okay, that's what I thought. So let's talk a little bit about with the four-man front. Who are your starters in the four-man front?
All right, in the four-man front, obviously we got Yunze at defensive end. Xavier Dennis is our 3 technique. We moved Jamario to our nose guard position, and Xavier Adams comes into the backside, weak side defensive end.
Okay, so you got, I kept seeing Xavier, and I have to look. Okay, so
we
that's,
got
that's
2
Adams,
of them.
that's Dennis. So yeah, but they both had really, really good games.
Oh yeah.
Friday night. So you talking about the overall defense. The leading tackler Friday night was Dominic Floyd.
Oh yeah.
And he had the big interception at the goal line. But not only that, he led the team in tackles, but most of those tackles he was out one-on-one in the open field. He prevented some big plays, maybe even touchdowns, because you're out there on an island, you don't make the tackle, man's down the sidelines.
Oh, yeah, Dominic Floyd stepped up, had a big game. He's grown up tremendously over these months. A few months as Jarrell has came in and started coaching, just taking more accountability in himself first, making sure he's doing what he's supposed to do on and off the field. He's just really grown, and you can tell that on the field. He's a whole different player this year.
Okay, well, and kind of talk about the rest of the defense. We talked about the D-line. What about linebackers and defensive backs other than Dominic?
All right, at the linebacker position, Jaquavius Moss, sophomore, about 6'1", 220. Great size, great frame, about a 4.6 40 when we timed him in the spring. His interest from college programs really started picking up. He's an honor society kid, just a great kid, just does everything right on and off the field, going to lead others, always on time, the whole 9 yards. Another few guys we got in the secondary, Kenobi Young, senior, about 6'1", 190, another great kid. He stepped in and been a receiver his first 3 years in high school and stepped up and moved over to the DB position. It's really been good for us so far. Zion Williams, another kid, came off the basketball court, great kid, another honor society kid. Secondary is just extremely smart in the classroom. All of them just about AB students. He stepped in, he's a great athlete coming off the basketball court. We mentioned Tony Coleman earlier in the show, who's another great standout in that secondary. So
he made a lot of big plays as well.
Oh yeah.
So I thought they did a great job defending. You came up with that one interception, but we had several deflections, I remember, as well.
Oh yeah.
And not just from Yunze, but I'm talking about the defensive backfield. So overall, definitely an A effort for the defense. The defense, was the difference in the football game.
Oh yeah. They came out and really played, man. I kept telling my guys, especially up front, after the game, I'm super proud of them. Obviously, we still got room for improvement, but your effort and, just willingness to not quit, was great tonight.
That's right. So, I'd already talked about it with Coach Jernigan, but that deflection by Yunze, that was big loss of yardage play. He deflected that flare pass to the back, and then they ended up punting out of the end zone, got the safety and the quick change, touchdown. We went from being behind 7 to up 3 in just seconds, and then put another touchdown on the board. But really, the spark was the defensive play that really turned it around. So, it takes both sides of the ball. It's a team game, but the defense really was the spark that brought the Tigers back Friday night.
Oh yeah, Yunze, like Coach Jernigan said earlier, drills every day, pushing them the whole defensive line. And we work on drill, if you can't get to the quarterback, you got to get your hands up, especially with somebody that's 6'4". I say it all the time, you got to inspect the gadget arms, man. Get those arms up and bat that ball down. So get those arms up if you can't get all the way to the quarterback. He does a great job of doing that.
That's right. So we're going to talk talk Headland with Coach Jernigan when he gets back here in a moment after the next commercial break. But let's talk a little bit about Headland. What can we expect from the Rams this week?
Headland, I mean, they're going to come out. You know, they really think they got a chance. They're 2-0 for the first time since like the 80s. I don't know the exact year, but I know it's since the 80s. So they're 2-0. They're going to come out fired up. Their fans are behind them. They're pushing them. So it's going to be a good contest. Like, we can't just go out there and roll our helmets out there and say, well, you follow, and go out there and get a victory. We're going to have to come to play.
That's right. And you know, like I said, they're 2-0. So they're excited. I mean, so
oh yeah.
And it's first road game, true, you know, of the season. We had the Jamboree, but this is the first road game for the Tigers as well. So it'll be important for the Tigers to have good fan support and to get off to a quick start. You know, we didn't get off to a quick start offensively Friday night, but the defense held on until the offense got in gear.
Oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. We're gonna have to lean on each other all throughout the season.
That's right. So, well, Coach Brown, we appreciate you joining us tonight.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we'll look forward to seeing big things from that D-line the rest of the year.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, you're listening to the Chick-Fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show on the Eufaula Tiger football broadcast. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Hey, Tiger fans. Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? Is it a cool lake breeze on a hot summer day or by a warm fire on a cold night? Make every room in the house as inviting as the next. Also, make the air fresh and clean for everyone and keep humidity where it belongs. At Carrier, comfort means more than just the temperature. Contact Brown Heating and Air Condition, 714 South Eufaula Avenue, 334-687-5244.
Hey Tiger fans, this is Lauren Streeter with Wiregrass Realty, and I'm here to tackle all your real estate needs. Let's team up and make a touchdown on your new home. Give me a call today, 334-614-7409. Go Tigers!
When it's football time, we at First Franklin Financial are big fans of our local teams, just like you. We've been part of the community for over 75 years, and when you need money for repairs or emergencies, we'll help you play offense. We offer fixed-rate loans up to $15,000 with easy payment plans and fast approvals. Visit 1ffc.com to find the location near you. Legal, all loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and may require collateral. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 5656.
Benny Whitehead Incorporated has called Eufaula home since 1965. Today, the family-owned business owns and operates 119 tractors and trailers and employs over 150 people. Benny Whitehead is nationally known as a leader in safety and keeping the air clean and fuel consumption low. Benny Whitehead Incorporated loves Eufaula and would like to wish Lakeside and Eufaula a safe and successful season.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Sam Wise in Eufaula today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Does your IT infrastructure or computer equipment have you sidelined? Don't throw in the towel yet. Call Chris Wirtz at Wirtz Consulting at 334-695-2820.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? Is it a cool lake breeze on a hot summer day or by a warm fire on a cold night? Make every room in the house as inviting as the next. Also, make the air fresh and clean for everyone and keep humidity where it belongs. At Carrier, comfort means more than just the temperature. Contact Brown Heating and Air Condition, 714 South Eufaula Avenue, 334-687-5244.
Hey Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
And we're back. Coach Jernigan joins us again. And, Coach, Headland on the road, they're 2-0. A lot of excitement for them. They moved up into 5A. They're not traditionally a 5A program, so it'll be, I think, the third all-time meeting between the Eufaula Tigers and the Headland Rams. I didn't realize that the last meeting was only 5 years ago, but it was a lopsided Eufaula win, 41-14, according to what the research I could find back in 17. But Headland is 0-2 against us, so I mean we're a big opponent going in for them. It would be a big prize. There's a big prize on our head when we go down there. So let's talk about that a little bit, and let's also talk about the differences between going on the road compared to a home game.
Yeah, they got a good team this year. Headland got a good team this year. They got some good athletes. Starting with the quarterback, he's a great athlete, can run, can throw it a little bit. So they got some good athletes in the running back, and they got a receiver out there too. So. But, they 2-0, and, they pump right now, as they should be. They 2-0, off to a great start, and, they got all the excitement down there. And we're 1-0, like you said, they're not a traditional 5A opponent, school, but, they bumped up to 5A this year. So we're going out in there, and like you said, we got the target on our back because we're known for being in 5A, coming back down from 6A. So it'll be a great game. I expect a big crowd. Some of the kids and stuff, they really getting up for the game because they got friends down there. They know a lot of the students that's on the team and stuff. So I expect a good game. But on the road compared to at home, being on the road, it's a lot less stuff that you have to worry about. When you're playing at home, you got to worry about, painting the field. Like for us, because we don't have turf, so we got to worry about painting the field and, getting everything out on the field, all the equipment on the field. And my coaches do a great job of helping me with all of this. We have checklists in there, and, I delegate all of it out to each coach. They do a wonderful job getting it out there and stuff like that. But the only good thing about playing at home is we get a gate. We get a gate money-wise. It was – quick story, Joey Brand, the superintendent, called me last week in the first home game. So I'm out there trying to make sure everything's set up right, make sure the scoreboard works, make sure the clock works, the 40-second clock and all that. And he called me up. He said, now you see why I'd rather play on the road. I'd rather play on the road than at home. It's just so much stuff going on, and you're trying to make sure that everything's right and you don't have no embarrassing moments on Friday night. Something like sprinkler coming on and people's out there playing. But being on the road, you don't have to worry about all that because that's the home team's job to worry about all that. And so that's two of the biggest differences, playing at home and playing on the road.
Yeah, you were a very popular person, I'm sure, last Thursday and Friday.
Oh, man, my phone was ringing off the hook. I mean, then not including we started painting the field, Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then the storm came and washed half of the field away. So my coaches had to go back out there and get out the paint machine again and repaint the field. But like I said, they did a wonderful job out there.
Yeah, they did. I heard a lot of comments about how good the field looked and that, I spoke to someone who was actually down on the field, and they said there's not a weed on the field they could see.
Well, that's a big shout-out to Andrew Dunson.
Okay.
He's keeping that field up, and he's doing a wonderful job on that field like that. All we do is paint it. He cuts it. He fertilizes it.
Okay.
I mean, he does all of that. And that field looked wonderful. I mean, it's so green.
It looked really good from the press box last Friday night. I mean, the paint job was great, but the contrast with the color and everything, it was just a deep green. It was great. It was a good looking
he doing a great
setting
job
for the opening game of the season. And we talked about Headland a little bit. The proximity to Eufaula, I mean, it's, so often where we are, we're an hour from everywhere. And of course it is nearly an hour, but it's only about I guess from the school it's probably 40-45 miles because it's not quite to Dothan, but it's still not a bad drive down the
49 minutes.
49 minutes. So,
49 minutes from Eufaula High to Headland.
Yeah, so I mean that's it's not a bad drive for folks that want to go down there. Now, I don't know if we talked about this on the air or not, but if they want tickets to the game, GoFan is where they need to go?
Yes, tickets are on GoFan, and I want to encourage everybody to come out. I really want a big crowd there on the road and show everybody how Eufaula Tigers travel. We wearing white, we're wearing all white, so if everyone would please wear white if they can. You know, if you wear red, that's okay. But I mean, we're wearing white, so we want all our fans wearing white also.
Okay, and so it's probably important for them to get there as early as they can, right?
Yeah, you know, Helen got a little small stadium, but I like the atmosphere there into the small because it seems like everybody on top of you, and it can get really loud in there. So, but I encourage everybody to get there early in case it sell out. You know, but get there early, get your seat, get you a good seat. You know, and let's come cheer the Tigers on to a victory.
Well, hopefully we're sitting here next week 2-0, and we've moved on up a little bit. We're 10 this week in the 5A rankings. Rankings don't mean anything after the first week of the season, but it's nice to be recognized, I'm sure.
It's nice to be recognized. I really don't pay no attention. I had some boys come in and say, Coach, we ranked 10. Then I went and looked at it, but I really don't pay no attention right now because it don't mean nothing early in the season.
That's right.
I want to be rolling towards the end of the season going into the playoffs.
No doubt, no doubt. And real quick before we go, let's kind of recap the region. Kind of run through who the other teams that are in our region other than ourselves in Headland, and who is playing each other this week.
Well, we got the big game. The big game that I'm waiting to see the result after we take care of business Friday night is Greenville and Charles Henderson. That's going to be a big one in Charles Henderson right there, because I know you're not trying to jump ahead, but we got Greenville next week, and I'm interested to see how that game plays out. You know, so that's the big game of the week right there. And then honestly, I don't really pay attention to who got who. I just worry about who we got. But I know that big game this week with Greenville and Charles Henderson.
Okay. And I guess Rehoboth and Carroll probably are playing.
Yeah, I mean, because we all playing region games this
right.
week. So, I guess Rehoboth and Carroll probably playing each other.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. Well, great. Well, we wish you all the best. And like I said, we're looking forward to a big crowd at Headland and a big Tiger victory as well.
All right. I appreciate you having me, Keith.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, good luck tomorrow night, and we'll be with you. Of course, kickoff tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Pregame show 6:45 from Headland. And of course, next week we'll be here at Chick-Fil-A 6 p.m. for the coaches show. But for Doug Apple and Charles Irvin, I'm Keith Brown. Wishing a good night and a great weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Go Tigers!
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
I played a Chick-fil-A commercial.